Hey guys, we're back for another episode of our Kook of the Month series. Now, our Kook of the Month for June of 2025, we actually got the release on this one on May 19th. Of 2025 from the Department of Insurance. This was a 6-year scheme that the person was busted for, uncovering $3.4 million of workers' compensation fraud. The California State Compensation Insurance Fund, which is a large writer of workers' compensation in the state of California, was tipped off by this fraud as part of an insurance audit. The owner that got arrested here was the owner of a security-based firm based out of San Jose. He was sentenced to 180 days in jail, also ordered to pay about $240,000 of restitution to the California State Insurance Fund because he underreported payroll and he shorted the carrier on their premium. What people don't realize is that even though this gentleman underreported payroll to the State Compensation Insurance Fund and didn't pay them the premium, they were liable for everyone that was working for this gentleman during the time that they investigated the matter. If one of the employees got hurt, regardless of whether the person reported the payroll or not, or the business reported and paid for the premium, the insurance company's liable to pay for that person's injury, to pay for their medical, to pay for lost time if it happened, disability. There's also the employer's liability portion of the policy that they're liable for. So this is serious, and the theme here is underreporting of workers' compensation payroll. Here's a few facts on this case. San Diego security company owner sentenced in $3.4 million workers' compensation fraud case. Raul Chavez, 40 years old, was sentenced after a California Department of Insurance investigation uncovered a 6-year-long scheme to underreport payroll and avoid paying workers' compensation insurance premiums. Now let's talk a little bit about what he underreported. Chavez underreported. The department's audit uncovered that Chavez concealed $3,431,903 in payroll from 2017 to 2023. The underreporting resulted in an estimated $205,565 in unpaid workers' compensation premiums owed to California State Fund. The department's investigation revealed that from 2017 to 2022, Chavez had falsely claimed to State Fund that he had 0 employees or payroll. For the 2022 to 2023 policy year, he reported only $40,000 in payroll related to the injured employees. So somebody got injured here, and because of the injury and the claim, State Fund realized that there was a situation that something didn't seem right. Chavez owned and operated Tactical Operations Protective Services, an LLC providing security, guard, staffing, and patrol services in Santa Clara County. The department received a suspected fraud alert in September of 2023 from State Fund alleging that Chavez failed to report an employee injury that occurred in June of 2022. The referral further alleged Chavez had significantly underreported for multiple security guards over a 6-year period. So you can see how something comes up that leads the insurance company to believe that fraud may be happening and then reports it to the California Department of Insurance. In this case, an employee was injured in June of 2022. It wasn't reported, and it wasn't until 2023 that State Fund realized it should have been reported. Read the contract of the insurance policy, especially work comp, that states that the insurance company needs to be made aware of all work-related injury or illness, not just ones that you choose to. They knew there was an injury that happened in June of 2022, probably because this employee followed up with some sort of medical assistance later on. Remember, employees don't always work for companies forever, so what if he complained about it after the fact? Or what if he went back to a medical provider and said, hey, I got injured at work back in June of 2022, even though it was 2023. That medical provider reports it to the work comp carrier. State Fund says, well, this business said they had no employees or payroll in 2022. 1 + 1 doesn't equal 2. Let's open an investigation. That's how this stuff happens. People aren't insulated because the time ran out. Work comp carriers and the State Department can go back and look from years and years in the past. So that's why it's important to dot your I's and cross your T's and make sure that everything's being reported properly, that the premiums are being paid properly, that the audits are being conducted and closed out accurately and properly, and that everyone's on the up and up. Again, workers' compensation fraud is a major reason why hardworking, honest businesses in the state of California and around the country pay higher workers' compensation premiums than they probably need to. Because if everybody paid their fair share into the pie, there would be a more robust, better system that could make up for all the claims and losses. There's enough premium in the pool to pay for that, where people rates don't have to go up all the time. Loss ratios are healthy. The commissioner says every time one of these things happens that premium fraud puts workers at risk and shifts the financial burden to honest employers who follow the law. June 2025, Kook of the Month. Mr. Raul Chavez, you should be ashamed of yourself for underreporting payroll, shorting the work comp premium, and leaving your employees at risk of not having proper coverage and not reporting injuries when they should be, because it shows here that this employee was injured in June 2022, wasn't known until later in 2023. Thanks again for watching my video. Remember, if you like my channel, if you find my videos helpful, give me a thumbs up, comment on my videos, subscribe to my channel, and hit the little notification bell so that you're made aware of all videos that we release. We will be back with another Kook of the Month in July of 2025. We hope you find these useful and helpful and interesting as we do, and hope to see you on another video very soon. Thanks again for watching.